Welcome back to this final episode in our calculator app series. Let me just move things around here a little bit so we have more room to operate. Here we go. In this video, we'll work with the add, subtract, multiply, and divide buttons. Then we'll wrap things up by programming the equals button, which is where everything comes together. First, let's drag in our 4 events. The add button, subtract button, multiply, and divide. Now let's create a procedure which will be called when the corresponding button is tapped. We'll name this procedure Calc Setup. Now let's click the gear icon to create an input parameter for this procedure. And we'll give the parameter a name of OP for operator. Now, whenever the user clicks on one of the operator event buttons, the event will pass in its operator to this procedure. First, let's make sure the result label is not empty. Drag in an if-then block, then a not block from the logic category, an isEmpty block from the text category, and finally a result labeled text block. Now this reads, if the result label.text is not empty, we're going to do something. So what do we do here? Well, first we're going to copy the value in the result label into operand 1. Next, we're going to clear out the result label. And as the last step for this procedure, we'll set the operator variable equal to the parameter that was passed in, which is named OP. Now we simply need to call this procedure from each operator event, passing in the correct operation symbol. So we'll start with the add button, bring in a call to the procedure, set the operation to a plus sign. Then we'll modify the subtract button event. Set the operation to a minus sign. Then the multiply event. Set the operation to an asterisk. And the divide event. Set the operation to the divide symbol. So now, clicking on any of the 4 operator buttons will cause the calc setup procedure to be called with the correct symbol being passed. So now it's time to perform the final action for our calculator project, the equals button. First, let's rearrange the screen a little bit. We'll start out by adding an equals button click event. Now first we need to set operand 2 equal to the value in the results label. So I'll bring in a set operand 2 block. And I'll set that equal to the text value from the result label. At this point, we should have valid information in operand 1, operator, and operand 2. Otherwise, our procedure will probably fail. So let's do a quick check to make sure that none of these variables are empty. For that, we'll need an if-then block. Now I'll drag in two AND blocks from the logic category. Now let's bring in some blocks for operand 1. We'll bring in a not block, an is empty, and operand 1. With these three blocks in combination, we're asking the question, is operand 1 not empty? We'll drag that into the first condition. Now we'll duplicate these three blocks, move them into the second condition, and change the variable name from operand 1 to operator. Then we'll duplicate again, move them into the third condition, change the variable name from operand 1 to operand 2. So now our condition reads, if operand 1 is not empty, and if operator is not empty, and if operand 2 is not empty, then we want to take some action, which is to perform the calculation and store the results in the results label. So first we'll drag in a set results label text block into the then block. Next we'll drag in an if then else block and attach it to the result label text block. Note that this is a special form of the if-then block. We are using it here to return the results of the calculation to the results label text block. Now let's drag in an equal block from the math category. For the left side of the equation, let's choose the operator. Then drag in a text box and set the value to a plus sign. Now let's bring in an add block from the math category. Now duplicate operand 1 and place it on the left side. And duplicate operand 2 and place it into the right side. So the statement now reads, if the operator is equal to a plus sign, return operand 1 plus operand 2. Now let's duplicate this if then else and attach it to the else condition. This is known in other programming circles as a nested if, and you can nest any number of if then else statements together, as we will be doing here. So first change the symbol from a plus to a minus. Now we want to change this math block from an add block to a subtract block. So we'll delete it and we'll drag in a subtract block. Again, on the left side, we will set it equal to operand 1. And on the right side, we'll set it equal to operand 2. Now we'll nest in another if-then-else block, change the operator to a multiplication symbol or an asterisk, then delete the subtraction block, and we'll replace that with a multiplication block. So we drag that in. On the left side, we want operand 1. On the right side, operand 2. Now let's duplicate the if-then-else block and attach it. Let's change the operator to divide. Now let's delete the multiplication block. Replace it with a divide block. On the left side, operand 1. On the right side, operand 2. And if none of these conditions are met, we'll set the return value to empty text. All right, so let's give our calculator one final test. First, we'll add two numbers. 1 plus 7 equals 8. The answer is 8. Clear. Let's do a division. 55 divided by 5 equals 11. That's correct. Reset. Multiply. 75 times 3 equals 225. And subtraction. 400 minus 100 equals 300. So it looks like our app is working. Congratulations on completing this project. I look forward to seeing you in the next video, and thanks for watching.